Hello fans, welcome to Susie Farms, where we share amazing gardening tips and information on how to grow food. Here we shall share information on 14 best spring vegetables to plant in your garden. As your garden awakens from winter's dormant slumber, it's hard to imagine that many vegetables can thrive with chilly nights, random rainstorms, and unpredictable temperature swings. Fortunately, some of the best tender spring greens, roots, and snacks are eager to germinate and yield in the cool, moist soils of early spring. Certainly, growing your own spring vegetables can be a rewarding and delicious experience. As long as your garden is thawed and workable, these cool-tolerant veggies can germinate in soils as cold as 4 degrees Celsius. They don't mind cold nights, temperature fluctuations, or spring rains, and some can yield in less than 60 days. Early spring veggies tend to enjoy the cool buffer season before daytime temperatures get too hot. Some spring veggies like cilantro and spinach will bolt once the weather warms, which means spring is the best time to enjoy them while their flavor is best. Direct seeding early spring crops ensures you have nutrient-dense flavors to add to your meals when fresh ingredients are scarce. These 14 veggies offer unique tastes and textures while the rest of your garden is still waking up. Whether you have a garden, a balcony, or even just a sunny windowsill, here are some easy-to-grow spring veggies to get you started. Please kindly like, comment, share and subscribe as we dig into 14 of the best early spring vegetables, including some surprising culinary delicacies that you may not have grown before. 1. Spinach. You can't talk about spring vegetables without discussing spinach. This iconic iron-rich green absolutely loves the cold. Spinach is a nutritious and versatile vegetable that is grown in both cold and warm weather. It contains high amounts of vitamin B6, B9, C, and folic acid. You can plant it in gardening containers or on a raised garden bed. It can grow throughout spring. It should be planted 8 centimeters deep and 20 centimeters apart. Water immediately after planting and then twice a week. After 30 days, the spinach is ready for harvesting. Slowly pick the leaves when you are ready to prepare them. Enjoy fresh, vitamin-packed greens. 2. Lettuce. Lettuce is another nutritious plant that is cold-hardy and can flourish in warm weather. It is high in fiber and manganese. Lettuce is the perfect plant for spring gardening, whether you grow it in a gardening container or a raised garden bed. Plant it 6 centimeters deep and 20 centimeters apart. Water immediately after planting and then twice a week. Start harvesting about 45 days after planting. 3. Asian greens. Asian greens are one of the most nutritious foods. They can be grown at any time of the year. Do you know that Asian greens contain vitamins A, B, C, E, and K? While you can grow Asian greens in spring outdoors, they typically can also thrive in a gardening container by a window. Grow them in containers by a sunny window. Water immediately after planting and then twice a week. Start harvesting 45 days after planting and enjoy the greens. 4. Onions. Onions are the perfect vegetable for fiber, folic acid, and vitamin C. Onions can be planted indoors all winter long in gardening pots. Transplant once the frost is over and the soil is workable. Start picking your onion 90 days after planting. 5. Radishes. Radishes provide a great source of vitamin C, folate, and potassium. It is one of the many easy vegetables to grow in raised garden beds. Radishes are another cold-hardy vegetable that can be grown in early spring. Your raised garden bed can be in the ground or above the ground. You can also grow them in garden containers. Plant 8 centimeters deep and 12 centimeters apart. Water immediately after planting and then twice a week. Slowly harvest 90 days after planting and enjoy. 6. Green onions. Green onions are a great source of vitamins A, C, and K. In addition, it is a good source of folic acid and riboflavin. This is another cold-hardy plant that can be planted immediately after the last frost. You can grow them in raised garden beds or gardening pots, and they can be harvested almost all year. Plant 5 centimeters deep and 12 centimeters apart. Water immediately after planting and then twice a week. Slowly pick them 90 days after planting and enjoy. 7. Asparagus. Asparagus is one of my favorite perennial vegetables to grow in raised garden beds. Do you know that you can leave it in your raised garden all year and it will keep coming up every year? Yes. It is that simple to start. It is a great source of vitamin A, C, E, and K. It also folate, copper, and iron. Asparagus can be planted immediately after the first frost. Plant 6 centimeters deep and 10 centimeters apart. Water immediately after planting and then once a week. Slowly pick them 90 days after planting and enjoy. 8. Artichokes. Artichokes are another great perennial plant just like asparagus. It is a strong source of vitamin C, K, and folate. Just like asparagus, it will come up every year after planting. It is a great option for all raised garden beds. Plant them immediately after the last frost. Plant 8 centimeters deep and 12 centimeters apart. Water immediately after planting and then twice a week. Slowly pick them 90 days after planting. 9. Swiss chard. Swiss chard is one of the most beneficial vegetables. This vegetable is rich in vitamin C, folic acid, iron, and potassium. Swiss chard is a cold hardy plant that can be planted in early spring. You can even start your chard seeds in the raised garden bed. This vegetable is used in fish dishes, salads, and some people even eat it raw. Plant them immediately after the last frost. Plant 8 centimeters deep and 12 centimeters apart. Water immediately after planting and then thrice a week. Slowly pick them 60 days after planting. 10. Kohlrabi. Kohlrabi is becoming an increasingly popular vegetable in the United States. It is a high source of thiamine, folate, magnesium, and phosphorus. Plant immediately after the first frost of the year on raised beds or in gardening pots indoors. Plant 10 centimeters deep and 14 centimeters apart. Water immediately after planting and then 3 times a week. Slowly pick them 60 days after planting. 11. Broccoli. Broccoli is another fantastic vegetable for gardeners. It is a great source of protein, thiamine, and vitamin E. Broccoli is a cold hardy plant that can be planted immediately after the last frost. I love planting them on a raised garden bed and often harvest 2 crops per year. Plant them 8 centimeters deep and 15 centimeters apart. Water immediately after planting and then 3 times a week. Slowly pick them 90 days after planting. 12. Kale. Kale is a cold hardy vegetable that can be grown throughout the entire year. It is the only vegetable that can truly be here all year long. This vegetable has fiber, protein, almost every vitamin, and iron. It is really a nutritious powerhouse of healthy food. Plant them on a raised garden bed, 6 centimeters deep and 15 centimeters apart. Water immediately after planting and then twice a week. Slowly pick them 90 days after planting. 13. Sweet peas. Sweet peas are delicious and nutritious. These vegetables are a high source of protein, riboflavin, and niacin. They are the perfect outdoor spring vegetable to grow. It thrives in the spring and tastes sweeter the colder it is. Plant during spring on raised beds. Plant 6 centimeters deep and 10 centimeters apart. Water immediately after planting and then twice a week. Slowly pick them 60 days after planting. 14. Cilantro. Cilantro prefers the cool weather of spring. Cilantro plants are prone to bolting in hot weather. While cilantro flowers are lovely for pollinators, and the seeds turn into the famous spice coriander, there are a few tricks you can use to prolong the leaf harvesting phase. Seed cilantro in soils a few weeks before your expected last frost. Mature plants are cold hardy and can handle low temperatures. Plant seeds about 3 centimeters deep and 4 centimeters apart. The plants still grow well when sown thickly and have strong regrowth after each harvest. It's a common misconception that you have to wait until your last spring frost to start planting. Many vegetables can be sown in the garden several weeks before the expected last frost date, like kale. These cold-tolerant plants are accustomed to germinating in chilly soils and flourishing while the weather is mild. Spinach, radishes, turnips, kale, lettuce, and peas are among the best vegetables for early spring planting outdoors. Please kindly like, comment, subscribe, and share to friends and families so we all can benefit from this. If you live in an area with hot summers, it is particularly important to make the most of your early spring planting to enjoy crops that will dwindle in the heat. That was it for today. Kindly watch till the end to retain our 14 best spring vegetables so far. Keep watching.